There's nothing a little music can't help.
Oh my God, I've been surprised before in my life, but this is one of those ones to remember. So, with that being said, this is going to be an unboxing. Obviously, if you're seeing this video, you know what it is. This is the box that it came in. I was expecting it 4 days ago for 4 days from now. And lo and behold, when I got here, my daughter signed for it, and it was a super surprise. I picked this up for my birthday. I've never owned a product like this. This is my first attempt at it. So hopefully they knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's just open it up. I got to this point and I left it alone because I knew I would have to make a video of it. It is the Dji Mavic Air. The newest and latest and greatest in their technology. This is going to be an unbiased unboxing and review. Simple fact is, they did not send this to me. I purchased this. So this is not the Fly More package. After purchasing it, because I pulled the trigger on it, and it's for my birthday, I figured I splurged enough, but I just figured I didn't need all the extra stuff, really. I really only preferred the batteries. So after purchasing this, thinking I'm going to hunt for some batteries, the batteries aren't available. So I'm going to have to wait, just like everybody else, apparently. So just going into this, there's 3 colors: Arctic White, Flame Red, Onyx Black. The dots on the red, that's the one I ordered. I believe the box just comes naturally in the white color. So this is the box in a nutshell. Still has the plastic around it. I have not opened it. So we will go through this just as I will. I probably won't have a video of this flying attached to this currently because I've never set one of these things up. I haven't even downloaded the app. So, because I didn't expect it this early. So, I'll try my best to get the video up as soon as possible. It is Super Bowl weekend, so good luck with that, right? But I'm going to try to get it out there, see if I can get somewhere where it's actually decent to fly and it's not illegal, per se, or this is not, for me, this is not going to be for professional money-making purposes, so I'm going to be one of those ones that fall in the category of using it for hobby purposes. And I don't know how to open this box. And here we go. So, I'm actually opening it backwards, but who cares? I'm like so excited. Whoa. Okay, so first off, the controller came out the bottom, because that's where I opened it up, was from the bottom. And the controller's got some weight to it. I actually like the feeling of it. It's pretty small. It looks like an iPhone 6 size. My daughter has an iPhone 6 here. Wow. So if you take an iPhone 6 and match it up, it's literally the same size as iPhone 6 minus the antenna, or plus the antenna. It's not as thin as the iPhone 6, obviously. But, so that gives you a comparison of how small this controller is. So, first impressions, wow, I've never owned a DJI product, so this to me, I mean, I've flown different styles of quadcopters and helicopters and what have you, and even my good controllers doesn't feel this way. So I'm really, really impressed, just the controller itself. And it doesn't even have the screen like the Mavic Pro, and honestly, I don't care, to be honest with you. So this one actually has a picture of the camera. So if you're taking pictures or stills, you push that button there. And if you want to record for a video, you take in the picture there. And I believe this is for the gimbal for the video to move up and down or side to side. I don't know, I have to figure that out. Then, of course, you have the antennas. Everything's kind of taped down. Again, it's a true unboxing for me. So that's the controller in itself. Let me see. There is Mavic Air accessories. This box, that's what it says right there. Let's open this thing up here and see what's in it. Looks like it's the charger, 2 USB outs, and then the battery the battery plug. So actually it's probably USB. Okay, here we go. So it's the AC cord goes in there, and then you can actually charge something off the USB or straight to the battery. So you could charge multiple things. Unless the battery can be charged by USB as well, so that'll be nice. Just get a couple cables and just charge it through USB. So here's the charge cable. Wow, this feels great. The charge cable is one of those lay flat cords that tangle free. So very rubberized. DJI logo on it. It almost looks like a lightning cable, like Apple's, but it's not. It resembles it. And in here, it's the AC cable. It's the AC adapter to the wall. That's all it is. So we have that. Let's put that to the side. That's the only thing. Oh no, there's something else in this box. Okay, so these are the cables that actually go for if you're using Android or Apple. The only reason I know what I'm looking at, I've been watching reviews. I've been going crazy. I didn't know if I wanted to spend the money on this. I was close to buying the Spark, and then when they dropped the price, I almost bought the Spark because for the price point, that was what I was looking at. And I don't know what this is for. It's probably a lock to lock this in, I imagine. I don't know. I have to look at the instructions, but it came out of here from somewhere. So then this came out, like literally within a couple weeks of me researching all the Spark and everything that it does. So yeah, it's going to. Wow, I don't see an iPhone plug here, unless that's the one that's already on the controller. That shows two different styles of USB. That's the part that goes inside the controller. So inside this must be the... Oh, here it goes. That's the case. This actually has it in here. Okay, so the iPhone one is already in there. See it right there. So that little plastic piece is what kind of holds it in place. So it's just an extra piece that goes around there and it holds it in here. You can slide it up and down depending on how you adjust the phone here. This is sweet. This controller is just sweet. Wow. I'm like so giddy right now. It's got the speaker. Looks like speaker goes down here. Unless there's fans in there. I don't know. There's a USB. So apparently this got to get charged as well. I'm not sure how much charge this thing has. Here's your sport button. There's a function button. There's the... I believe this is the height. The hold your altitude hold. That's power. And there's the pause the video. I can't wait to get this up in the air, but I do have to charge it. Looks like there's something else in here. And I can't access it through the... There we go. This right here. Okay, so it has two extra joists, the sticks. Has two extra sticks, and then it has looks like a USB. Wow, this sticker is really good because it's just tearing up the bags. Looks like it's a USB adapter. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Has DJI right on it too. Feels really thin and light and plasticky. Like, this feels cheap. Like, probably spent like 2 cents on it. This right here is the sticks, which I'm not sure if that's metal or not. It feels like it's metal. Like maybe it's aluminum or a titanium aluminum, or titanium or just aluminum. I'm not sure, but I'll have to get a magnet on that. Well, it's definitely metal, and the magnet won't stick to it, so it's definitely either aluminum or non-metallic metal there. So we'll put that to the side. I don't want to lose that. So that's what's in this accessory box. Great packaging. Great packaging, by the way. So I'll just throw that over there. Here's the remote. And okay, so there's nothing else in the box. So I'll put this to the side. Alright, so it's a hard shell case. This thing looks sweet. It feels sweet in the hand. It's got some instructions, or probably care for the... I don't see English nowhere on here. That's the funny part. Right here is the only English part, made in China. Alright, so let's open this before I open them. That. So this one actually says Mavic Air instructions, which this is a big box for instructions. Okay, so we got the prop guards that are in here. Here are the prop guards, and from what I understand, you have to really be careful which one you use, on what side, apparently. So they're labeled so. They only go one way. I guess they're like the spark. I won't be using those. And if anybody need them, I'll probably raffle them off or do something to give these away, because I don't really care for those. And then there's a crap load of instructions. So it tells you in the box, quick start guide. This is probably going to be my best friend for a while, because I've never owned a DJI product, so I don't know what to look for, what not to look for, what to worry about. Disclaimer and safety guides, crap. Intelligent flight battery, safety guidelines. Yeah, that's worth a read. Propeller guards, crap for me because I'm not going to use them. So, other than that, there's a DJI Care refresh, keep flying, 2 replacements, water damage coverage. So I think this is something they offer. I believe is like $89, and then they give you like 2 years of. I don't know. I stand corrected, but there's the QR code for that. And of course the extra pops. These props definitely come in handy. With the avoidance sensors, I don't see using that too much, unless you really just drop it yourself. But here we go. Let's tear into this. I'm like super excited for this. I'm like a little kid. My daughter was laughing at me. Dang, look at that. It's so gloss red. It looks like powder coated, like a BMW red, like a M3 red. If you can think that, or a Ferrari red. It's really, that is beautiful. That gloss. So here it is, finally, a DJI product for me. I've seen a ton of videos. I've been looking at this thing. It was kind of hard because it was kind of hard to find a video that wasn't biased, because everybody that got this right during the time it launched, DJI sent it to them, and they sent it to them several months ahead. They had it. They had time. They had to keep it a secret. So you have to be a DJI buff to really get something like this. Oh wow! Even comes with the camera cover, which I thought that was something extra you had to purchase. At least that's the way it looked like online, unless they just sell extra ones. So yeah, so it seemed like it was just a lot of. It's hard to tell, you know. You just think that it's going to be biased, you know, and you're not sure who's actually being unbiased, because they could tell you it's going to be unbiased review, but they got it for free, you know. I don't know if they have to return it or if they actually gifted it to them. Some of them say they got it gifted. Other people say they had to return it. So who knows? But this thing right now is like, it's got some good weight. You could tell it's not in your hand, and the way it feels, this feels, even though it's plastic, it looks like it's metal. And it almost looks like Iron Man, if you look at it. But it doesn't feel cheap. You know, it feels really, really nice. Got a good weight. A lot of it has to do with the battery, I'm sure. I'll find out once I pull it off. But yeah, this is awesome. So it tells you right here, unfold 1 and 2, so that you don't mess up. And I'm probably, oh, there we go. So that's 1. So it doesn't really lock into place, but it does have some good retention. So this one comes out. Then you have your front antennas. From what I'm hearing, this should always be folded down to get the best range possible. This is a Wi-Fi setup. It's not what everybody thinks it is. It's as far as it having the same system that the Mavic Pro is on, which is, I forget what they call it, but it's not the same. So this Wi-Fi setup is a better setup than the actual Spark. So it's more stable. So you're actually getting a better reliability as far as when you're flying it. I didn't know that when I purchased it. I found that out, even though after I purchased it, I still kept looking at videos, and somebody actually said that this did not have the same setup because, for the reason, this is kind of small to fit that technology that was in there. From what I understand, the people that were making it, the review was with somebody from actually DJI. If I find it, I'll link it to this video. But it's in itself, the way he was explaining it, they try to cram everything they possibly could with the technologies that they had to date, which still is way better than a lot of stuff that's out there. I mean, it broke the mold pretty much. The Spark kind of did that for them, and then they upped the ante with this, from what I understand. And I'm trying to love it more than hate it right now. I'm loving the whole thing about it. I'll find out about that whole connectivity, if it's really good or not, or if it's gonna suck, or if it does suck. If some people's had some dropping issues, but they flew it really far. I think that's not what this was intended for. They made it this small for overseas, so it's compliant to a lot of countries, so you can actually carry this, and it's portable, and it actually meets all the standards, so you can go through so many countries if you're actually traveling. Where the Mavic Pro, even though it's so light and it's small, it was still illegal to fly those in a lot of countries. So this one, that's not the case. Apparently this fits the bill on all the countries, which was one of their deciding factors. Again, this was research that I did, found out why they went with this and how small. So then he added the rear sensors, right? You have the front sensors like the other one, like the Spark. Then you have the sensors in the bottom, the camera sensors. I mean, this thing just feels great. So here's the intelligent battery. Actually, even without the battery, this thing's got some good weight. The copter's still heavier than the battery, so that's actually a plus. It's probably why it fights some good wind, because you see, if you look at the YouTube videos that people have out there, that they were fighting some good wind with this, and it was holding up. It was still stable for them. If you see from their video perspective more than the video's perspective of this, because with the gimbal, you're not going to see that it's fighting the wind doing this. But through their perspective, as they're holding a camera recording this like I will be, you'll be able to see what it's doing in the wind opposed to what you're seeing through the video. Now, everybody's ranting and raving about the 4K, 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 4K. If you're going to use this for YouTube, I'm going to tell you right now, 4K is not going to matter. If you're going to solely buy this for 4K to do YouTube videos, you're sucking in the wind, because YouTube already downgrades you down to 720 anyways, so you're not going to get 4K until it's just, you know, the way they have their setup, all their storage, they're just not going to do it now. So if you're professionally doing 4K videos, if you just want 4K videos just for giggles because you have 4K TVs and stuff like that, and then great, you know, go with that. 1080, everybody keeps saying, I don't know why they keep downgrading 1080 so much. I laugh every time I see those videos. Well, it only has 1080, like the Spark. I think 1080 is great. Right now, there's a lot of platforms that don't handle the 1080, so let alone a 4K. So if you use 1080, yeah, you're gonna have a better image than 720, obviously. But if you upload it to YouTube, it's gonna be already downgraded to 720. It's gonna be a little bit sharper image, but that's what you're gonna get. Now you watch a 4K and a 1080 comparison on YouTube, it's different unless the camera itself is changing as far as the colors and stuff like that, the contrast and all that good stuff. But God honest truth, 4K, I did not purchase this for 4K. I did not, and I'll say that again, I did not purchase this for 4K. That's just a plus for me. It takes too much time to upload, even on a Mac. You require a different SD card than everything else. It just is, again, if you're not doing it professionally, there's no need. You need to have 4K. Again, it's a plus. That's just a plus for me. I purchased it because it had all the sensors all the way around. I do like to do rear flying. I like to hover and move it around, and that's going to come in handy because these things are so small that if you get out there pretty far and you're getting close to a tree branches or whatever, it's going to save your drone more often than not because of those sensors. Because the depth of field that you're going to have, I mean, even the professionals have a hard time with this. I've been flying for a long time, and I tell you that it's easy to lose track of this and your depth of field and perception. So those cameras come in handy. Flying FPV, you're going to see it all the time. You can avoid it. But if you're trying to take shots of yourself and that kind of stuff and family members and you're in the shot, you're going to run into something eventually with these other drones. So this battery is very light. It's supposed to be 21 minutes of flight time. So far, people are saying it's about 15 minutes because if you look at the DJI site, it was 0 wind, optimal circumstances. I imagine it was indoors, and they were flying at 15 miles an hour steady. So I imagine it was in a circle. So to get 21 minutes, hovering, you're not going to get 21 minutes because you're constantly fighting its weight and everything. But as you get moving, you have momentum, and you have the air is helping you stay afloat. The higher you go, it just cuts through the air better, and you see that it's not going to just sit there holding its weight. So you're going to get longer flight times, even with the cheaper ones. Any of the drones that you see out there, the Simas and all that stuff, people was like, oh, the box only says 7 minutes, but I can get 10 minutes out of it. Yeah, because you're flying it. 7 minutes was them just hovering it, They're saying they moved it for 15 miles an hour with 0 wind. Well, there you go. I don't know where you go in the U.S. that you're going to have a day that you have 0 wind. It's just, I've never been anywhere, and I was in the military all over the place, and I'm tell you what, there's wind always. Even if it's a breeze, there's always wind. So I would plan for 15 minutes. Until I get used to it, I would probably set my timer and watch the camera, but I'll set my timer for like 12 minutes and then keep an eye on it from there until I get used to the flight time on this. So I'm going to have to battle through that I only have one battery. Just by seeing how nice this looks, I think it's gonna suck for me that I only got one battery. I didn't want to get the fly more just because I only wanted one extra battery. I don't see the need for 2 more, although it's nice. But everything else that it came with it, I'm not going to need it because all I wanted was the drone and 2 batteries. Because I wanted to keep it light and simple. So I can just throw this in a backpack, in a small case or something. More likely a backpack that I'll have and a shoulder bag and take this with me. I'm loving it. They got an A+ so far from me. This is like insane. It's insanely small, even for the peripherals that it comes with. I think the price is still a little bit too high for it. It should be at least $100, $150 cheaper than what it is. But I pulled the trigger, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people pulling the trigger for the same reason. So thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And I'll try to get a video up as soon as possible of this flying. And I'll give you that unbiased review to let you know how it's really working.